G'day guys and welcome back to another live stream. So sorry it's been a while since we've done one. I think about 4 or 5 weeks, but things have been absolutely hectic. So we'll talk about what we have been up to on the channel since then and a few things. It will answer a lot of questions of yours as well. And we've got a very interesting topic tonight. Since there's been a lot of talk about Australia becoming a republic again. We'll give our opinion on it, and we'd like to hear your opinion on it because it could really, really affect our gun laws. So we'll talk about that as well. So before we start, please just hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed and you're new here. I'd really appreciate it, and give this a thumbs up and definitely share this video. And after the video, please lay a comment because apparently that's a big thing now with the YouTube algorithm this month that changes every couple of days. So we've got to try and boost our viewership up, of course. So without further ado, we shall bring Jason into the fold. Good evening, Jason, and welcome back. It has been a while.
I think you said, did you say 4 to 5 weeks? I think it's been like 6. I don't know. We'd have to go back and have a look at it.
Yeah.
You've been earning the big. He's been out earning the big cash, guys, on the big money jobs. So hey, someone's got to be earning the money. Hey, better to work than not work, And when business is bad, so
exactly. No, I'm self-employed. I've got to take the work while it's there, and I've actually started enjoying my job again. I'm actually quite enjoying what I'm doing, and yeah, you got to work. My day starts at 4 o'clock every morning, and I only get home about 6 o'clock every night, and do some paperwork for about an hour, and then hit the sack, and then get back up again and do it all over again. So it's quite funny. By the time I have my smoko break, most people are just getting to work and starting their day.
Yeah, and who is it? I'm just trying to find out where is it. Who was it? Mr. Griffo said I still haven't moved the picture frame. Well, there's a fan in front of it now. Normally I move the fan, so you can see the fan and you can see the John Wick poster. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, can't wait for the new John Wick movies to come out. Number 4 and 5 should be coming out soon. So that'll be awesome.
Is it 4?
Yeah, 4, and they're filming 4 and 5 together.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Keanu Reeves. I probably up there is one of my favorites, I think. At least he's a top 5er anyway, definitely.
Oh, yeah, he's not a woke fucking pussy. He's just, he's the man. He is the man. And, yeah, that's becoming a big thing lately, hasn't it? The big lefties, and it's just getting out of hand now, I think, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, you've been working. I haven't been doing much at all. I've just been taking it easy. And what's everyone been doing in the comments? Let us know. You've been out shooting. You've been out fishing. You've been out buying lots of ammunition. Did you buy any guns? What have you guys been up to? Yeah, it's been a long time between drinks, but I think probably a well-earned break, I think, don't you reckon? We were pretty solid there for what? Good 2.5 years, man. Hey, pretty much.
2.5 years, yeah. And just needed a bit of a break. Both Jason and me have got different channels as well, and different adventures we're on and things we're doing. So we, just need to concentrate on that. I should be concentrating on the other channel as well, but I haven't been. I've been pretty bad. But yeah, we've just been got other things we've got to get done, and just step back from the shooting thing for a while, because basically, as we all know, yeah, as much as we talk about it and much as other people claim stuff, nothing's really going to change at the end of the day. So we don't want to keep harping on about the same stuff and promoting promoting the stuff that it just isn't going to happen, really. I guess it's the only way we can say. We're not going to want to lie to you. That things aren't going to change for the best.
We wish to our heart's content, want and wish, but I mean, it's a bit annoying. It just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, we both, and a lot of people are actually switching on now. I've noticed a lot of commentary recently. A lot of people are just switching off. Even just general people, not just shooters. They're switching off the Labor and Liberal. They're realizing they're both useless as tits on a bull. They know they're not going to do anything. They're both parties are exactly the same. Doesn't matter which one you look at. People say, well, this party, that party, this one's more conservative. This one spends more money, mate. All of them useless as tits on a bull. They're not going to do anything. And then, as Aaron said, that goes then to to the core thing, well, what can the pro-gun parties that are in Parliament, what realistically can they achieve? Can they achieve anything moving forward?
What have they tried? That's the thing. They just sit along. We've got people there here in Queensland, over 20 years now in Parliament, and achieved absolutely nothing. In
50?
Queensland, we
50 years.
50 years, yeah.
If you're talking about the one in particular, well,
the Queensland Joe Biden, we got done nothing. Pipes up, fucking blows cobwebs out of his ass, and every now and then, and just goes back and just rapes the taxpayers. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sorry, none of them are any good at all here in Australia. They're all worthless, and as we know, we have this fight every 4 years when it's election time about who people are voting for, and yeah, it just turns into a shit fight. I actually quite like it because I recommend don't vote for any of them myself.
Let's just go through a few comments here. We asked a few questions. So C. Henderson is spearfishing. That's nice. I would like to go spearfishing, but then I saw that poor bastard in Sydney munched up by the great white man. And then they said normally when they bite you, they don't really come back. Well, his torso was floating in the water, and then it came back and grabbed his torso and pulled, and just you never saw him again. Yeah. So, man, no way, man. I ain't getting in. I'm a land-based human. That's my guy. I'd like to, but it just scares the living shit out of me, man. Especially when it gets a bit too deep or a bit too dark. No way, man. No way.
Well, I've had, I don't know if I've ever really talked about this on the live stream. I haven't. I used to do a lot of surfing, and I've had 3 close encounters with great white sharks. 3 of them.
Ew, no way.
One was I got knocked off my board, and I saw it swim away, and quickly got inside of the breakers. And the second time I was just out sitting behind the breakers, just chilling with a mate, and a 4-meter great white swam right underneath us. I could see his eyeballing us, and we paddled in, and we told the lifeguards, "This is what's out there." And my mate said, "Oh no, sure you saw it." I know what I saw, and I said, "He goes, well, let's just go back out anyway." I said, "No, I'm not going back out." So we packed up, went home, and we about 20 minutes away from the beach. It came on the news. They closed that beach because there was a 4-meter great white shark spotted. I mean, he was so close I could have touched him, and he was massive.
No way, man. I'd be like Jesus, just like walking on water, man. That's how bad it would be for me to just die.
Third time I was at a bit of a Christmas party, and we were out for a week out at Moreton Island or Fraser Island. I can't remember one of the two. One with the lighthouse out here in Queensland. And I was just sitting in a lagoon with another workmate, and he brought a couple of surfboards. We were sitting there yakking, and up popped a dorsal fin, probably about that, big, about right between us. And we slowly went in, and we were talking about, and so we went in and we met a local, and they said, "I wouldn't be surfing out there." A guy a couple of weeks earlier got chomped in half, and 2 great whites were actually tossing 2 halves of his torso to each other like seals.
Man, not my cup of tea. That's for sure. I like the idea of it. I think it would be fun, but fun until something starts trying to munch on you. Then no. Yeah, so anyway, let's go here. Go.
So we've got the rest of the Christmas party just fishing. That's it.
Harps 666. What's he been doing? He's been on the shooting his RPR 338 Lapua Magnum.
Nice.
It's back at the gunsmith. Hopefully it's not something bad. Hopefully you're just getting it worked on or putting a, I don't know, muzzle brake or something. Yeah, pimping it out. Hopefully it's not damaged or anything. Stan Long Range Pensioner Mans. He's going hunting for a week in New South Wales. That's good. Hopefully you get something, man, if you haven't been already. Badger James bought an MDT chassis. Nice. Yeah, Pete Robinson's been doing a fair bit of shooting. What's Phil Walter? Just got 10K. 22 subsonic. Sold his 6.5 55 Mauser. Purchased a 303 ROF. All right, 10K. I thought 10. I was going to say 10,000 rounds. I'm guessing, not $10,000. I thought, shit, man, that's a fair bit of chunk of 22. If he's got 10K in 22 subsonics, man.
This is. And then we got Jack Daniels. I've had my license suspended due to being sick and assessing work cover in 2020. in the process of getting them back. Agreed to return them last week by my lawyers, then changed their mind. I wonder if in 2020, because what did you catch the Wu flu or the Chinese attack or what?
Yeah, but what's that got to do with assessing work cover in 2020? Listen, at this point, if anything, if you can afford it, if this happens to you, just go speak to a firearms lawyer. Let them take care of the process. Yep, it's going to cost you money. It all depends. You shouldn't have to do this, obviously. It's so annoying. But then again, this is what they do. They use the state against you, the state's funds against you to do whatever they need to do to basically make you spend money. And if it could cost you, 15 grand just through basic back and forward, not even going to court just to get the gun license back. Even if it's just an easy win, like it's just that they won't even go to court over it. It's all the backwards and forwards your lawyer has to spend time doing. This is, mate, apparently from what I've been hearing, not only in Queensland and New South Wales, this is all I know. There's just people hand over fist just wanting gun licenses, man. They're just inundated with applications for people to get gun licenses. I think they thought years ago this would stop a lot of people. People wouldn't do the process if you were used to the old system. But because this system's been here for so long, people just see it not even really as a hurdle anymore, just a minor hurdle on getting their gun license. But be very careful about what you do. Speeding fines are getting people lose their licenses, even though it's not in the regulations and so forth. All types of things. It's just enough to start reducing that number of licenses. Anything they can get you on.
But it's like anything. You ban something and people want it more.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good to see a lot of the...
Go.
Oh, good to see a lot of the regulars in here. Been so long. Been pumped getting on tonight. Seeing all these guys back again. Fantastic.
Yeah. Probing says, petition to the king, return our semi-autos and imprison John Howard on a tiny offshore island. I mean, we wish. I mean, we think it would be nice if it actually happened.
John Howard's like a vampire. The prick is never going to die, man. He's going to be hanging around
He's
forever.
A fit little bastard. I'll give him that. He gets out for his daily walks, which we probably all should do. And he just, I mean, heaven forbid, I don't speak ill of the dead, but that other bastard died a couple of years ago. What was his deputy's name? I've gone blank, guys. Refresh my memory, guys. I've just gone blank. I've got his picture in my mind. He was the
I know
the head of the Nationals back then. Pete.
Yeah,
I've gone blank.
Yeah, me too. Tell us, guys. Refresh our memory, but we know
Tim Fisher. Fisher.
Yeah, Fisher. Yeah. Well, his brother's a priest or something, isn't he? And he's still out there preaching anti-gun stuff.
Yeah, I knew Colin would know it. Fisher. As soon as he said Fisher, I knew the name, but I just couldn't. Again, this is how much effect these people have on me. I just forget them quite quickly. I mean, heaven forbid, I'm sure his family doesn't like him being dead, but I mean, hey, as they say, karma unfortunately gets the worst of people. That and like I said, people don't realize the amount of trouble back in the day. The businesses going under, the businesses were gone just overnight. You've had a business for only the strong businesses survived. The rest just went bankrupt. Family breakups, suicide, people being separated from their children through massive financial difficulties that resulted in divorce. I mean, again, all the untold damage from 1996 the government just didn't give two shits about. So,
yeah, and right from then, it's just been a spiral of shit, basically, with all the gun laws and bans, and we're turning into such a woke society. It's just absolutely endless. When is this ever going to end? And we're turning, like, I'm convinced kids I'm sorry, but you got kids at home in their 20s, still at home. I see it every day in my job. 20s, 30s, even 40s, kids still living in the basement playing video games. It's just, they got to get it. You got to get out and do something. You can't just do that. I've tried to hire people on my business in their 30s, and I had one prick a couple of years ago. Lasted 3 days. Tried to sack him. He was mid-30s and never worked over 6 hours, and he could hardly walk. He looked fit as hell, and he couldn't even walk up the driveway without collapsing. And he cried about everything. What are we? Who are we producing these days? It's just sickening. And I think our generation is going to be the last of the generation before basically everyone's a pussies. And you look at all these soy boys, and these are the people who are going to be running the country in the next 10 years. These are the people who are going to run the country. These left-wing soy boys.
Mr. Wonderful said, you don't vote for what you want in Australia. You vote based on what you don't want, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they're both as bad as each other at the end of the day. So, I mean, to think Liberal or Labor is going to do anything for shooters, I mean, they try and sell a good game, the Nationals, right before election time, but, we know they don't do jack shit. So, yeah, they both suck, really, at the end of the day. Steve says, I need to toughen up, Jason, toughen up. I guess he means me going in the water spearfishing, I'm guessing. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think I'm a wimp, but yeah, I won't ever get in the water again. I'm a land-based person.
Listen, I'll go in there, go from the beach and all that, have a bit of a patter around and all that. But that's as far as just getting out in the ocean and just backflip into the water and then go down. Nah, not my cup of tea, man, unfortunately.
I had a beachfront apartment on the Gold Coast and never went in the water once while I had it. That was after all the 3 run-ins with great white sharks. Overland 4x4 Australia. I've been waiting for my pistol renewal license for a while now. Yeah, well, we've heard that. All renewals, PTAs, that is gumming up the entire system, which surprises me because there was a glitch in the computer system, and category A apparently here in Queensland is not handled by a human being. It's just an automatic computer program because it's category A, 22s and shotguns, very low powered apparently. And there was a glitch that everyone got who had a PTA and got a thing saying it's been approved. So I was actually getting that god awful Adler rubbish years ago, and it was and it was approved. I got the thing saying it was approved. About 3 weeks later, hadn't received the PTA. Phoned them up. They said no, it was a glitch. Talked to the lady on the phone, and while I was talking to her, she said about a minute later, she said all done. I said what? Oh, I've just done your PTA now. I said, how long does this take? And she said, about 30 seconds to a minute, and we can process a PTA. That's how long it takes. That's what they told me at weapons licensing.
But I wonder how many thousands they're probably getting in each day, man. How many people
are buying
stuff?
If it only takes a minute or so, I said, what do you look for? She said, oh, we only look for if you've been in trouble with the law for the last week. So you got nothing. No, that's all we look for. Because if it was longer than that, you wouldn't get through to this process. So, man, if it takes a minute to okay a PTA and look up your record, why is it taking so long? You can't tell me there's hundreds of thousands per week of gun transfers.
Andrew makes it just one. He goes, sharks are misunderstood. Majority of attacks is based on mistaken identity. They sometimes confuse humans with seals. Yeah, well, that's still not good enough.
Is true.
Well, that's still not. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to get confused with a big hairy seal. No, thanks, man. West Covina Dodge says, are greener harpoons legal? I'm sure harpoons would be illegal in Australia. Anything's illegal in Australia. You just look at someone that's illegal. Fireworks, West Covina Dodge, aka Pat from California. Fireworks are illegal now. You can't have bangers. We used to have cracker night back many years ago. That were the good times. All gone, all banned because heaven forbid someone can't have fireworks, man. Just anyway.
Well, you can't even go to some nightclubs now. You get turfed out if you are looking at some female without her. You've got to ask consent to look at a female now in a nightclub.
Or if you're in a nightclub, the police might break in and end up shooting you and your girlfriend when she's giving you a bit of action.
Yeah, in the back.
I think she got shot in the leg and the back because she was giving him a bit of a sucky apparently, and he got shot in the abdomen or the guts and all that, and how much did he win? About 4.6 million, I think. 4.6
largest payout in Victorian history.
For
police misconduct.
Luckily he's not dead. For $4 million, kind of seems kind of low to be almost dead. And
the poor bugger's had 17 operations to put him back together again, and his life will never be the same again. Yep.
And they always get you to sign it to get the money. They always tell you to sign a non-disclosure agreement so you can't go badmouth them all over TV, because that's what they do. They try and buy your silence to buy away the corruption, unfortunately, which is just pretty disappointing. But hey, if you don't sign it, you don't get the money. They'll offer you way less and then just drag you through the system for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But Here we go. Yep. Sean says, ringing steel at 600 with the 308 in the weekend. Yeah, that's always good fun. I remember when me and Shooting Stuff Australia over here was shooting his 308. I think it was a Ruger Precision. And he just, mate, the 260 was just bang, dead center, bang. And then, mate, all you heard with his shot is pew, pew. No, there was no audible ring from the what do you call it, the gong, put it that way. Man, he was getting frustrated. He goes, what's going on? And it was hilarious.
And then I wasn't sighted in, and I had a loose scope. It was just my fault for that. Yeah. But then we shot
loose scope, guys. Loose scope.
Before we say thank you very much, Lockie, for the super chat. First super chat in 6 weeks. Thank you so much. And then next day we shot 1,000 meters, and I got 100 mil grouping at 1,000 meters while Jason was just firing everywhere, and he was getting upset. Don't make me. I could actually bring that video up now and show you guys. So don't make me do that, Jason.
Yeah, Unsubscribe says he's been on work cover for 11 years. The firearms register's never bothered him. Well, thankfully your name's blanked out there just in case they're looking. Southern Star Review said upon renewal of his friend's license, he had his license revoked for 3 speeding fines 4 years ago. Wow. So that's what I mean. How can you go upon renewal and then they say, no, you're no longer good enough? I wonder how far distance those 3 speeding fines were. Were they pretty back to back? Were they pretty close by? Were they one every couple of years? What was it? I mean, my history hasn't been necessarily the best, but I don't think I've had a fine since probably 2014, I think.
Well, they would take those licenses away around the year 2000 for speeding.
But the thing is, how do they do that because you've got your license for 5 years, right? Sometimes that's why. Listen, I don't like doing it purely for the annoyance, but that's why sometimes I think a 1-year license would be better, but better for shooters, because if you go through, say, 7 or 8 licenses in 7 years, 8, 9 years, if you do 1 a year, right, then I think it'd be very hard for them to come back and say, well, let's say you had 1 fine every year for 8 years. And then all of a sudden on the 9th one, they go, hang on, no, that's too many offenses now. And it's like, well, but you gave me the license for the preceding 8 years. How come you didn't take it off me then? And you might have a legal case with that. So it really depends. It's interesting. But if you do 5 years, they can't then take that into consideration because, you should have taken that into consideration back when I had my license renewed. In between now and my recent license, then if I get to renewal, then how come they didn't take it off him earlier? If they were 3 years ago before your license is renewed, how come they didn't take it off you then? It sounds kind of bogus, eh?
Exactly. Is Aaron Bosman. I know this is all old news, but what were your thoughts on Western Australia's Police Minister Paul Papala doxing all legal gun owners in Greater Perth region? Well, doxing, did he actually release all their home addresses, or was it one of those things where they just release the suburbs and all that? No matter what, it's wrong. You shouldn't be doing any of that because it's just inviting the criminals to basically a shopping list.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't really care. All they try and do is make fools out of shooters, and we know what they're like and all that. And apparently they're rewriting. I did get some Gun Control Australia email about a couple of weeks ago saying they're working closely with the WA, government officials and so forth. So, we'll see what happens out of that. Yeah, we'll see what's happened out of that. But anyway, I mean, I don't know if he has. Well, he's obviously a bit of if that's true, then it's not very good. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, thank you, Matt Outdoors, for the super sticker, for the donation. Really do appreciate it. And thank you so much, guys, for helping out the show. As we said, Jason, we talk about this because we're starting other adventures on YouTube as well about the old YouTube stuff. And my last live stream actually made 77 cents.
You're rich, man. That's what it's all about. The riches of YouTube.
I hit the big time, 77 cents for several thousand views.
Yeah. Jack Daniel said, governments don't care. Look at the deregulation of the milk industry. How many farmers died of suicide? Exactly. They couldn't care less, man. That's why I'd never vote for those mongrels ever, man. Ever. Why people, even after what happened the last 2 years, the amount of people that still voted for Labor and Liberal just, mate, The stupidity in Australia knows. I mean, I didn't think Australians were very smart as it was, but I've been to quite a number of countries overseas, from Europe to North America. It's just straight. Yeah, coming back to Australia, I just think the average SOB in Australia, just not really a critical thinker of any kind. As long as they've got their beer and their pizza on a Friday arvo, they're pretty good. They don't really want much else for their life, unfortunately. No real get up and go. Disappointing.
Well, here's Mad Outdoors. They took my friend's Category C for parking fines, 7 of them. Well, the way they do this, as they say, is if you can't follow basic road rules, then how can you follow gun laws?
Yeah, but like in New South Wales, for an example, so the last time I checked, it's like these fines are not an excludable offence. So again, let us know in the comments. Is anyone having any luck? If they have, if someone's watching here, have you been refused a license? Have you been like Southern Star Review? Have you been refused a renewal? Have you just got a letter saying hand in your firearms because of excessive speeding fines and like that? And if you took it to court or a lawyer, what actually happened? Did they bend and give you your license back? Let us know exactly what happened.
And how much the process was. How much
the process was.
Yeah. Uranus probed. Should it be 20-year licenses? Why not less work for the police? Why not, like in the old days, lifetime licenses? You only need to be licensed once. Why do they keep paying the money to get yet another plastic card? Why not a lifetime license and then pay for your PTAs? Wouldn't that make
sense? It almost seems, like all you do, like pretty much the gun shops do most of the work, the firearms, that sort of stuff, right? So it's just a bureaucracy, a round circle bureaucracy, man. So I pay you or I pay them just so they have an office and insurances and stationery and computers and IT. And we just keep doing this process, man. It doesn't really achieve anything, really, does it? It doesn't really achieve anything.
Just a waste of resources, a waste of people's time.
We were having this debate with a mate again the other day. We were talking about, which I'm totally against, is the fishing license. And I said, this was in 2016, probably the same now. I'll go check for next show. Fishing licenses basically drew in about $15 million. So if you take out compliance, which is the guys that are on the big $100,000 boats with the twin engines, and you take out the online system to that you buy the license off, right? So the IT system, $7.5 million is gone, or 49%, before you even consider transferring any of that fishing license money around to any particular cause. So just to have the bureaucracy is half of the money, or 49%, just to keep the bureaucracy going before you even start. I mean, if that's not ridiculous and ludicrous, I don't know what is. So only then $7.5 million, quote unquote, goes back into fishing. And how much of that really goes back into fishing? It's biggest scam just to keep a bureaucracy in business. It's just disgraceful, man.
If you're an Australian citizen, it's your right to go fishing in our waters.
Well, not according to these guys.
Shouldn't be any licenses.
In Queensland, you don't have a fishing license. There's not a fishing license in Queensland.
No, they do. The cops are big on the water, trying to get people on a drink boating, because they take your car license as well and your gun license. And okay, fair enough. They check for like the smaller fish. I agree with that. But yeah, they're still out there to try and get you. The amount of money wasted on water police. What a fucking joke. It's just like, I think you go a police officer, traffic cop, water police. I think that's a hierarchy.
Well, I just think people go,
oh, water policeman. Oh, what? You sit there with a fucking life jacket on.
Well, it's probably not a bad job, working on the water. I mean, people say, oh, isn't it good to have compliance around? And I said, yeah, but at what cost? At what cost? How did fish shows get roped into paying for compliance to comply themselves? I mean, it's just, beggars belief, man. Beggars belief. Anyway,
you're an Australian citizen. You should not have to pay for fishing or hunting. Our public land and Crown land should be open to all Australians to work and play on. It shouldn't be locked up all over the entire country. Crown land, you should be able to go hunt on in certain sections.
Yeah. I mean, people say, money goes back into things, but like I said, I was fishing for, like all of us growing up, for many years with my dad. I mean, is fishing, is fishing any better now than it was 20 years ago when I was growing up? I don't think so. I mean, there's not any more opportunities. In fact, it's only gotten stiffer, measurement rates, flathead rates, jewfish rates, lengths, how many you can, it's just gone to shit, mate. Hence why a lot of people are just hanging up the rods and saying stuff it. But let me just go through the participants, Aaron, because we didn't do that at the start. Then we'll get into the topic, I think. Aaron Bosman, Adzi, the PWC bloke in Australia, Albert of Tasmania, Camouflage just popped up then, just as literally as I was doing it. Andrew Markle, Aaron Johnson, CG, Cliff Lee, Colin Penfold, Conservative Sniper, D40, Decker Hex, a Static Pessimist, Fox 860, Harps 666, Jack Daniels, Lockie McFarlane, Looking Over Hell, Matt Outdoor Adventures, Mr. Wonderful, Mr. John Boy, Mika Steve just popped up then as well, literally as I was doing it. Peter Grace, me guide. Peter Grace, me guide. That's it. M. Trundle just popped up as well. I'm up to P, aren't I? Peter Sat Out, Phil Walter, Richie A, Southern Star Review, Tube User C1, unsubscribe, and our buddy Probing, which we can't read his first name just to avoid YouTube killing us and demonetizing it probably.
We're way past that now.
If you didn't show up, guys, I'm sorry. That's only the people that are showing in the thing. I can't do any more than that. People used to get the shits if they go, oh, you missed me. And I said, oh, my God, didn't show up. Nothing I can do.
Yep, exactly. So I'm just going to make myself a drink before we get into tonight's topic. Now, this is a very interesting one, isn't it, Jason? You and me have talked about this a couple of times this week.
Yeah.
And
before we do that, Stan, Long Range Pensioner Man, says, Jason, his Speedos, like on the beach. Nah. I said, mate, I agree with you.
God,
you don't want to be seeing me in a pair of Speedos on the beach. Or a pair of board shorts, for that matter, to be honest with you.
The great whites would come out of the water just to grab you.
Yeah. I'd be a good meal for them, no doubt. They'd go, this guy is just a big, hairy seal for sure, man.
Yeah, exactly. So tonight's topic, are we going to lose more guns? So basically, the topic I had to make a bit shorter for the YouTube algorithm, of course, but it's about, we all know the Queen has died, and fully respects there. I didn't think she was bad at all, personally. But the Queen has passed away, and almost instantly, the filthy, dirty left and the Greens in this country have come out and said we should be a republic. And see, the big thing is, to become a republic, we're going to need a constitution. And it's not going to be like a constitution how America has done, which was worked on the will of the people. Do you really think they're going to ask all of us, the loyal subjects of the Australian government, what we want and what we think? Of course not. Who will write it? The police and the pollies. End of story. So police don't want us to have guns. So I think we'd lose more guns. One of the worst things ever in this country right now, until we get a mature government and people who actually work for the politicians who actually want to work for all Australians, would be to become a republic, because it'll be exactly what they want, and this country will become a pure living left-wing shithole. Absolute. It'll make California and San Francisco look like 5-star, absolute fantastic places to live.
Yeah. I mean, the referendum, if anyone remembers back, how old was I? I finished schooling. I was only 17 then in 1998. So, yeah, I just turned 18 in April of 1999. So, yeah, and I'll be honest with you. At the time, I probably didn't know any better. I'm not big on the monarchy thing. I don't really care either way. I think it's a bit outdated. I think it's a bit silly, but,
the monarchy is only there for ceremonial, which I don't mind, because that was a part of, I hold a UK passport and a New Zealand citizenship, UK citizenship, and Australian citizenship. But it's just there for ceremonial, and it's been there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. I don't think it's a bad thing, and it brings a lot to their economy, in like tourism. I don't think
I just don't like that. I mean, at the end of the day, man, get out and get a job and work like the rest of us, just going around country to country, sucking off taxpayers. I don't think is,
But then I read about King
well, where are they
Charles.
getting their money? Where are they getting their money? English taxpayers.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes from all the royalties as well for like merchandise and stuff
Listen,
like
let's
that.
just go we're even keel, right? Let's say we don't care either way, right? In philosophy terms, I guess I think we should be a republic, but let me caveat that. I would vote no now. I voted yes in 1999, right? Stupid young 18, I didn't know any different. Now, I'd probably vote, if it went in our favor, if there was a Bill of Rights that gave us back rights, sure, I'd be for it. I think most people would be for it, right? If they were giving you, lots of rights back, reducing police powers to a large degree. But again, we know that's just not going to happen. And thankfully, people back in the day probably saw, maybe for different reasons than I would vote now, but maybe they saw this was the issue, going back 20 years or 23 years, 22, 21, 22, 23 years ago. That, the government's not going to give you any more rights. So, yeah, I'd be voting no at this point to a republic based on that alone. Of course, that could change if, they gave us back more rights, that a Second Amendment, for an example. But, mate, which politician or police is going to draft laws? Because the Constitution technically should be for the people, just like America. It's to give maximum rights to the people. Australia's not interested in giving rights to anybody. I mean, you think you do, but we're caged in this little box of just going to work, paying bills, do a few odd hobbies, maybe go for a walk on the beach, bit of fishing. That's really, there's nothing else you can do pretty much, you know what I mean, except for a few sports and, watching sport and a few other things. Anything outside the box, shooting, fireworks, stuff that's fun, well, not allowed to do it. So I'd like to find out people's comments on what they think. Would you vote for a republic? Do you think the police and the government's going to give you any more rights? I just don't believe they will. So therefore, I'd be voting no.
Yeah, 100%. We are not at the stage yet to become a republic. And if they do another referendum, they need to draw up a constitution before they say it. Here's the constitution. This is what you are voting for. Yeah. And this is it. Here's a constitution. Now, do you want to become a republic or not? But it won't be a constitution like the American Constitution, which is right to bear arms, self-defense, freedom of speech,
free speech, right to or no,
right to gather
from protest. Yep. Free from unlawful search and seizure. I mean, they're not going to. You think, mate, they want to search your car at the drop of a hat. They use you, I don't answer questions, to create suspicion about you, to search your vehicle, because this is what they do, man. They're just this hopeless,
Yeah, this country is not ready for it, and no, not at all. And you really think we're going to get in it? No, we will not. Who do you think is going to write this? Politicians and police. Police don't want us to have guns. And don't want us to have guns at all, and they don't want us to be able to voice our opinion freely.
Yeah, and Pat from California, West Covina Dodge, says the government treats you like a subject, you might as well have a monarch, probably. Listen, and where's the one up here I just read? Aaron Johnson, the government doesn't give a shit about people. That is true. Where was the other one? Where is it? It's just up here, I think. Sorry, CG said, I'm a conservative as it comes and I want a republic. Yeah, I think it would be good too. I said that probably before you comment or just before the comment came in, but I just read it. But yeah, I agree with it in theory too, man. But, again, are the politicians going to give you any more rights than you have now? Well, I don't believe so. So unfortunately, it's just sticking with the devil, so to speak. I 100% agree with you, man. I'm all for it, but not in the current form. And imagine our constitution. It'd be basically just rewriting the same laws that we've got now. You'd be lucky to keep it even keel. There definitely wouldn't be any benefits or any extra privileges from the government, that's for sure.
Well, even if we did become a republic, all our currency has to change. There's billions, probably millions upon billions of dollars to change our currency over. For a start, all our laws will have to be rewritten because right now we're under the Westminster law, and so which is from England, so that will all have to be rewritten. Our laws, our whole way of the bureaucrats are the only winners here. that people are not the winners. Hey, I'd love to stand on our own 2 feet, but only if it's going to work out for the people and everyone in Australia. So everyone gets a fair bite of the sandwich.
Southern Star Review got a funny one. He said, the Communist Republic is all we would have, and they would take all of our rights. Probably, man. I mean, you don't know. Listen, what could they get away with? I think if it came down to it, they would just basically, don't quote me on this, but to make it even keel, so to speak, they'd be just drafting up current laws. And if there is a constitution based on pretty much what we have now. So you won't be getting any guns. There's no extra good stuff. There's no fireworks. And in fact, some cases it could be a lot worse. But I think to get away with it, if the people wanted that, then it would be probably similar to what we'd have now. But that's why I'd just say no. So at the end of the day, if the government really wants a republic, well, they're not going to get it through to people. And I don't think it would get through again. And if the Greens are supporting it, imagine what shit they're trying to throw in.
Oh, yeah. Electric cars for everyone.
They want solar panels on everything. Solar panels.
Yeah, at your cost.
Yeah.
But what was funny was, this little side laugh. California, 2030. No more. I think it's 2030. No more gas-powered cars. Electric only. 2 days later, don't charge your car. We're going into big blackouts.
Listen, you know what I'd do? I'd support a republic if it said within 2 years they'd get rid of the Greens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Sign me up.
If they say get rid of the Greens, I'll support it.
Yeah. Get rid of the Greens, Liberal and Labor. Sign me up instantly. I'll pay more tax.
Yeah, even probing. Why can't everyone have what they want? Vegans eat their food and salad. We, he said some interesting stuff there. Firearms owners can hunt and everyone's satisfied. Yeah, I don't know why it's so controversial, man. I mean, if people think it's about public safety, clearly it's not, man. It's about control and power, man. Nothing more, nothing less. Hence the reason why they try and do it trying to do it in America also. Anyone that thinks, you think politicians care about people? Come on, man. They wouldn't know the next best thing about the people in this country, all these politicians.
I think now, when it comes to this gun control crap, like Gun Control Australia and all those dimwits and the politicians, it's just about look at me, make me relevant. That's it. They know it means absolutely nothing and nothing's going to go anywhere, but it's all about, the spotlight's not on me.
Yeah.
And gun control puts a spotlight on them for a couple of days, and they feel happy with themselves, and they feel like.
And if you're supporting them, the politicians love you. But if you go to your local member and you've got a beef with them, mate, they want to get you out of their office as soon as they possibly can. They don't want to be dealing with someone that's got actual real worries and issues with their local member. They just want people that support them. And Decker Heck said something good here too, because politicians need to realise the power comes from the people. Otherwise, they're just another flesh bag. Well, yeah, that's right. But, man, listen, if after 2 years of what we just had, I don't think we're probably going to never know, right? But I don't think we're going to see what just happened the last 2 years, potentially maybe again in our lifetime. Who knows? And that did not spur on. We got what? It went from 23 to about 30% of the vote for the minor parties, up 8%. That's poor, man. That is extremely poor. That the rest of the sheep and the goats, they just voted for the major parties. They didn't care what they did to them. Like Australia, it's finished, man. It's over. Like if this didn't wake them up, man, nothing will, man, at the end of the day.
And Colin said here, I will not vote for a Republic. These politicians will make right a progressive, which they will, and these politicians will ban cars and make everyone buy those electric cars and buy back in petrol cars, more than likely. Because if they can't fuel up your car again, what are you going to do? You're going to have to buy them back, aren't you? They're going to have to supplement you. This whole electric car thing's an absolute joke.
A static pessimist says rather a new state along the Vic and New South Wales border before a republic. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good case to be made for some competitiveness amongst the states. Everyone wants to sort of be the same. But you know what's popular right now? Like you look at places like Florida in the United States under Ron DeSantis. I mean, people are just flooding to Florida, man, like no tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
He's really popular. I'd say if Trump doesn't run in 2024, DeSantis will. Even if Trump does run, and let's say he does win, I think it'll be DeSantis 2028. He's that popular down there, man. Freedom, he's all about it, mate. People are just flooding there,
Yeah, he told them all shove the lockdowns. He didn't do it. And they had the lowest cases of Wu flu. And he said, no lockdowns. And they had the lowest cases of Wu flu. A couple of super chats I'll read out. Mr. Wonderful, there is a referendum coming up next year. And when asked to give details, Bobblehead Elbow said it's more important to pass it first. Beware.
Exactly.
Never vote for anything. Never vote for anything unless you can read it. Like never vote for a republic unless there's a constitution. This is the constitution. This is what you're up for. They can't provide.
But then again, hey, what's stopping them from changing it after that if it's not law? That's just based on the people's will. What's stopping it from just taking a bit out, tweaking it a bit? I mean, what can you do about it? Nothing anyway. You can't do anything about it anyway. So it's just going to be a flat out no from me. Unless I saw something I was willing to take a risk on some seriously positive changes. No.
Yeah.
No.
Nicholas, thanks guys for all these super chats. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for talking about the registry issues. Just be careful that they don't target you afterwards. Yeah, we've always thought about that, but we've been good so far, I guess. It's the actual shooting organisations that have been targeting us and putting us down. No one else. Actually, the cops have left us alone, haven't they? It's been our own kind.
Well, Aaron brings up a good point. Me, or Aaron, not you, but me and you, Aaron, were talking about this. But Aaron on here as well, Aaron Johnson said, strip qualified immunity away from the cops. Yeah, absolutely, man. 100% with you. People don't know what qualified immunity is. It's basically like what happens in Australia. If cops do something wrong, they're protected by the government's finances. I think it's 2 states. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Aaron knows more than me, but from what I looked at last time, I think it's New Mexico and Colorado at this stage. There could be a third one. I think it might be a third one, but basically, they're sick to death of police doing the wrong thing, and the taxpayers basically footing the bill. The state, the city, footing the bill of incompetence in breaches of the Constitution. So therefore, the police officer will be held personally and financially liable. Now, last time I read it, there were certain restrictions on the amount they can be held liable to. One of them, I think it was up to a certain percentage or up to $35,000. So that means if you, in a massive lawsuit where you've killed someone, even though I think you should get the qualified immunity, should not stop at 35,000. If let's say it was a $2 million, $3 million lawsuit, well, they'll only be responsible for 35,000. But I guess at least it gives them a point to just relax a little bit, not escalate a situation, because you can be held personally liable. And police don't earn a hell of a lot unless you're maybe like a captain or something in America. And $35,000 hit to their hip pocket can make a huge difference, which could easily too, Aaron, be easy to get to, because we know in America the payouts tend to be a lot higher than they are over here in Australia. So it would be easy to meet the cap at 35,000, and then to a police officer that could be the difference of going bankrupt or just really screwing up their life. So mate, I'm with you, Aaron. 100%.
100,000. It should be 100,000 here. Instantly 100,000 if you found you did the wrong thing. Now think very hard before, in court, I should say, you're going to get done for 100,000 minimum if you have found you've done the wrong thing by this person.
Because how on earth can someone get done for false arrest, or let's go to the serious offences, battery, assault on an individual that wasn't guilty of anything, and then when you go to court, the taxpayer pays out for you, man. It's just reprehensible, man. And I'm 100% with Aaron on that one. Aaron Johnson there, mate. It should go through the immediate entire state in every US city. And it was interesting because I remember one article said they had there was about whatever percentage left the police force in a certain state. 65% of them said the removal of qualified immunity was the reason their part of the reason why they've quit, right? It factored into their decision.
Yeah, because they know they're stuffed up. They stuff up all the time.
So the civil rights lawyers were like, well, fantastic. It's good. The idiots are weeding themselves out. If you're not going to join the police force because you're not going to be covered when you do the wrong thing, purposely sometimes, well, then, yeah, you shouldn't be a police officer. And frankly, yeah, see you later. Good riddance. You shouldn't be a police officer. End of story.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, man, I agree with that one. Big discussion on that one. I think many years ago, eventually will go through the entire US, and, yeah, it'll be a very interesting one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going to change the subject, but this is something I do find funny. I was actually talking about this today. I need to buy a new ute at some stage. Blue Simmons. Electric cars are a con. Yes, they are. They're not electric cars. They're coal-powered cars. That's what they are. They run off electricity that are made by coal. So the coal-powered cars, check out YouTube challenge in the Ford 150 Lightning versus the petrol. I'm looking at a Ram one day version. The electric version is a range around 100 kilometers. Exactly. For starters, if you buy an electric car, you're bowing down. You might as well get on your knees, open your gob, and receive the greens. That is it. So
Listen, doesn't mean I won't invest my share, you know.
You're a complete sellout and a gobnobbler if you buy an electric car. End of story. You're bound down to them.
Hey, it doesn't mean I won't invest in shares that maybe because electric cars. I mean, whichever way we like it, eventually these bastards are going to get their way. We can resist it. Like, I agree. I mean, I agree. You know, I don't think it's and how are you going to charge all these cars? I mean, look at California. They can barely keep the lights on, you know, like, and you want
they're going into rolling blackouts.
Yeah, you want 20 million people, 30 million people on electric cars. Man, it's just not going to happen, man. Let's not get too excited about it because, you know, they can say whatever they want. But again, states like Florida are just thriving because that's where all the freedom lovers are going.
Exactly. And there's our friend Sherry again.
Yeah, exactly.
No transparency, just like all government agencies. Couldn't agree more.
I mean, even during like what was happening in the last couple of years, I mean, you know, people are like, oh, we can't wait till the trials start. And, you know, the politicians are going to be held accountable and the courts are going to do the right thing. Come on, guys. The courts aren't going to do the right thing. Yeah, the courts aren't going to do the right thing. Police aren't going to do the right thing. Government officials aren't going to do the right thing. And they're not going to be, you know, people say, oh, you know, when Nuremberg 2.0 trials start. It's just not going to happen, guys. Man, these people are well and truly got people right where they want them, which is apathetic, sitting at home on the couch. And that's just the way it is, man. Like, there's going to be no charges. There's going to be no governments being held accountable. I mean, look at Daniel Andrews. How many issues has Daniel Andrews had over just the last couple of months alone? The red shirt scandal, the IBAC inquiries. The bastard just keeps Teflon, man. What's happening in Victoria? Wow.
Yep. Exactly.
Mate, Barry O'Farrell just had a bottle of wine and he was gone. Gladys Berejiklian, even I couldn't stand her, right? She apparently wasn't even guilty of anything yet. Not that she has been, allegedly, and she stepped down too. Yet Daniel Andrews, man, wow. That's all I can say is absolutely wow.
I'd like to know what's happening behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Unbelievable, man. So, actually, you guys are writing a lot of things in the comments. I'm sorry, I got a counter here, and we get like 1,500 comments per stream, so it's hard to read all you guys' stuff out. But we're getting a lot of comments on off topics, but about Australia in general. Would you guys, just throwing it out there, would you guys like us to comment on different stuff that's not government related? Stuff that will affect the everyday person? Hey, because I can tell you now, just me talk pretty much every day, we have a lot of damn good views on everything apart from guns as well. So would you like us to actually do topics, talk about stuff that's happened in the news or anything like that? Because I can tell you now, we do get a bit feisty. So let us know.
I mean, I don't think we're feisty. I just think we're reasonable.
We're not feisty to each other because
I know what you mean.
We basically agree on everything.
Not on everything, but
not on everything. Yeah, because I agree on.
But I just think this is the normal everyday Australian man that is just sick of all the crap, man, and wants their life back. And I've lost all faith in these politicians. I've lost all faith in the police. I've lost all faith in the courts. It's just, it's sad, really. And hence, when you get to that point, people just often just leave the country. They just go somewhere else where it's better. There's what else can you do?
Yeah.
And,
go to Florida.
But, and we saw, just a quick one, off side topic, New Zealand, just the last couple of days, all the, the face nappies and all the mandates. I just don't want to say certain things so the algorithm doesn't pick it up. But, Jacinda Ardern, the lowest, basically possible
scummiest politician in the world. Scummiest.
No, I'm talking about her polling is just so bad right now. People are onto her. They're sick of her. Like, they're just disgusted by Jacinda Ardern at the moment. So guess what happens when the polls are down badly? The mandates are gone. The face nappies are gone. New Zealand's back in business. It's not because your numbers are in the toilet. It's because, it wouldn't be that, would it? It's her love and support of the New Zealand people. Come on, give me a break. You know what I mean? It's, when you got bad polling numbers, everything turns out to be okay, doesn't it?
Geez, I tell you what, we get a lot of talk about electric vehicles here. This is like a hot topic.
Yeah.
To charge an EV, it's the same as running 25 fridges.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
I'd much rather have 25 beer fridges than an electric vehicle bowing down to the greens.
Mm.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is. Jeez, the comments, there's thousands of comments. I can't even get down to the bottom of them all.
We're back for the back again. People just, obviously liking it, I'm guessing.
We took a break, and we'll try and do this at least every 2 weeks. It's a bit hard with my job. I get home really late and that, and I'm trying to do
a lot of people don't like Jacinda Ardern. I watched some of the YouTube clips that come up, like on one of the morning shows for New Zealand. That Ryan, whatever his name is, he's always giving her a bit of just the way she talks, so condescending. Just like people, it's almost like she has to explain things in a certain way because the assertion is that you just haven't picked up on it yet. What she's saying, you're just not smart enough apparently to pick up on. She gets it, but you don't. Like it's hilarious, really, isn't it?
Well, she becomes prime minister / dictator, and instantly she takes a year off because she got pregnant. Don't run for office and try and run the country if you're going to take a year off or whatever it is.
Conservative sniper says the horse-toothed creature across the ditch.
Oh, hang on, I was going to bring this up.
Hey, Aaron, here you go. Here's a good one before you do that one. Salty Skippy, this is what me and you talk about literally all the time, hence the reason about gun reviews. I love the gun talk because there's only so much you can talk about and basically do with bolt actions. Exactly,
yeah. I literally stopped reviewing bolt action. Because the shooting community, industry, the companies do not support us. You never hear. You can do 10 fantastic reviews. Buy this. I think this is great. They don't supply me with any guns, but I think this is fantastic. I do think you should buy it. Never hear anything. Say one bad thing, boom. Oh, you're a dickhead. I get emails, messages from these people. Oh, what are you doing? Bad-mouthing us. I've just made 10 reviews over the last 5 years saying to buy your guns. I made one honest opinion because I'm not a paid shill like most other gun reviewers are in this country, in my opinion. And they don't, they're all over you. It's like, no, I'm out. I ain't going to fucking push any of you gun people ever again.
Oh, that's right. Live stream. I've got a good one for you. Yeah, that's right. This was interesting. Yeah. People saw about a couple of weeks ago, and I told Aaron about this. I've got 2 GRS Berserk stocks. Love them. Fantastic stocks, right? So I've got they come with a GRS limb saver. And for some reason, like I haven't used these guns a lot. They've probably got 300 rounds through them. Very limited, right? That's from long range. The 260 was one and the 243. Now, the butt pads have just dilapidated beyond repair, like just basically fallen apart, those GRS limb savers. I've got a AirTech limb saver that is older than those ones and it's in immaculate, perfect condition. And I use that out hunting, and I have done. It's got more use than the other ones. Anyway, I put it up on the page saying, what the hell? Someone actually sent me one a couple of months before that, another one. That one, it was brand new, and it's dilapidated as well. Anyway, I put on the page saying, is this an issue? People got on there. Yep, it's a known issue. Yep, that's what I heard from the gun shop too. And then all of a sudden, someone said, oh, did you contact us? Yeah, because we make good on that. I'm like, us? Huh? So I click on it, and it's what I understand to be like an operations manager for GRS. And then I'm like, and they're giving me a little bit of stick. And I'm like, well, hang on. These are out of, warranty years ago. They're about 5 years old probably now. I've went and bought some new ones. It's not really a big deal. Obviously, it's an issue. I'm not slagging your product. I like your product. I like the GRS Berserk. This is whatever combination was in this rubber was shit. But it's funny, hey, you never hear from them when things are going well and you're talking good about the product. But as soon as you say one bad thing, they're onto you. And I was like, well, hang on. I didn't see you years ago wanting to sign up to sponsor my podcast. So what the fuck do I owe you anyway? Nothing. I'm just telling you this product is shit. This butt pad, and if you saw the photos, you'd agree that this thing never got any use. Anyway, the point is you see them on your page all the time. And I mean, it's just hilarious. Just like, go away, go and annoy someone else on someone else's page.
Yeah. Then, what was the one that happened?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, a lever action. I got did a quick video inside Brown's Plains. Actually, I want to thank Brown's Plains for sponsoring this channel, sponsoring this live stream tonight. I actually forgot to thank Gary for that. Thank you so much, Gary, and Brown's Plains Firearms. If you're in Brisbane, go check him out. Fantastic shop and a real gun shop, because they're not just up there to take your money. They know, and they'll steer you in the right direction and talk to you about guns, because they're all hunters and shooters, big time hunters. But one of the only gun shops I've been in Brisbane here that are actual pure hunters, just not school kids standing behind a till waiting to grab your money. So thank you, Browns Plains Firearms. Please go check them out. Fantastic people. But I made a video on a certain lever action. It was brand new to the market. First video in the entire world. It was a quick, short little video years ago, and it went viral. Anyway, got a phone call next day. We just sold 6 of these, limited edition. 6 of them. They're like $3,000 a pop. Overnight, because of your video. So I phoned up this company and said, hey, one of the people who brought the 6 last night is actually, I know him. He's going to give me it to review. Would you be happy to supply me with a box of 44 Magnum or a couple of that? Because the reviews cost quite a lot of money to make. No, we don't need people like you on the internet making videos for us. So no review was made. Go get stuffed. I will never do another gun review again. And that's the mentality of the Australian gun companies. Not worth their weight in gold. All of them. I would not support any of them ever again.
Well, I wish it was better, man. I really do. I mean, there's so much potential. That's what we don't realize. I think there is a huge potential in Australia, but I just don't think we grasp it. We don't grasp it with our 2 hands as much as we should. I don't think. There's a lot of good people out there making some great stuff, whether it's hunting videos, podcasts as well. But yeah, it's just few and far between. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody does it for fun, but you've got to at least make a few bucks just to cover your costs of like I had the one the other day. As I was telling Aaron, I haven't made a podcast since April, somewhere around there. I mean, I just had to pay more hosting fees. $200 podcast hosting fees, $20 a month to still run my website. I mean, it all costs money. I mean. And people then go like, oh, I'd love to go out and make a lot of more bunny hunting videos as well. But again, I just want to get out there and enjoy my hunting and enjoy my life instead of thrusting a camera in someone's face all the time.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And, 100%.
But there's a fine line of, also keeping your editing skills current. I try and keep my editing skills up, if you don't, as I say, if you don't use it, you lose it like anything. So,
Well, actually, okay, Jason's going to absolutely hate this comment, but get down in the comments and tell us, do you follow Jason and me on our other channels?
No. Okay? Don't watch an idiot mow a lawn like me, put it that way.
Yeah, go watch Jason because it's actually quite fun. His videos are actually quite fun to watch. I watch them and I despise lawn. I despise lawn care, but I watch Jason's videos. And Jason is not into building stuff, and he watches my.
What do you mean? I built my own workbench downstairs, man. It's not the best, but it's pretty. I think I over-engineered it to a certain degree, but it's only.
Oh, you did, yeah, you did, yep. It's very good. So, do you guys follow Jason and me on our other? He hates talking about his other channel, but it is awesome. Go look at it. Links in down in the description. So, do you follow us on our channels? Jason's channel's going gangbusters. Mine, not so much, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
Anyway, it's good. Anyway, so I guess to finish off the next, I've got a bit of time here anyway, so we've got time to keep going for a while.
I got time.
Let's read some of your comments, guys. Let us know just something you want to talk about, a topic, or I mean, Tankmeister said my video is great at 100x speed. Yeah, well, nobody wants to watch it in slow motion or in normal speed. Bit boring in normal speed, but I've always been a lawn guy, man. I love that sort of thing, like mowing and. Yeah, that's my goal, man, one day, property big enough to shoot on, nice wood fire, 0 turn right on. Mate, come on, guys. You can't get better than that, honestly, can you? Maybe a nice big workshop like Aaron's or at least a garage, triple garage, barn. Come on. That's the life, guys. Admit it. That is the life. And if there's game on there to shoot, even better. Even better.
Yeah, exactly. I know people in the suburbs on the Gold Coast, a friend of mine on a 1 acre, and he get deer coming out of the forest onto his property, but he's not able to shoot him.
Yeah.
How backwards is this country?
Probing said, I made my bread holder with a sliding door. No, I didn't, mate. I bought that cutting board. Thank you. If you're talking about the one in the video or in the picture of my Bagara, the 300 Winchester Magnum I posted the other day, I'm not sure that's what you're talking about, but that's all I can think you're talking about.
Let's see here.
What else we got here, guys? According to
I'm very sorry. I did see a really good comment before on if we had one caliber we could choose, would it be a 308? Well, I think it would. If we only had one, I'd go a larger caliber. I think a 308 is a good all-round caliber. Myself, so I think it's very good.
I just tend to change, man, like 308, and then I went to 7mm. I get bored sometimes, not because I don't think 308's any good. I just get bored, guys. I don't know. I guess it renews your passion when you make a new purchase, so to speak. Not that the passion's gone or anything like that. But just 308, man, there's heaps of calibers out there, guys. Just get out there and have fun.
I think 308 is a good all-rounder.
Tracer said he'd like I'd like a shed like Aaron's too, to be honest with you, the bastard.
Well, I call it my midlife. I turned 50 and I spent my life savings on the workshop. Actually, and I've had quite a few messages from you guys in the shooting community on this channel saying, "Are you going to give us a tour of your workshop? What are you going to? We want to see what you put in there, real clear, and tell us what you've done and stuff." Yes, that is coming. I'm going to make a video, a shop tour on the workshop, and show you 1 year after how it is all going.
Well, here we go. Salty Skippy, 3006, Aaron's favorite, the old lady with the big leathery skin.
3006 is the MILF of shooting.
Yeah, the MILF that's had like 20 kids, which is just wrecked. I mean, that's what it's like, man. Leathery skin. They've been out in the sun way too long. Who we got? Skull and Crossbones.
You mean your typical Gold Coast lady?
Yeah. You've seen them, with their real, like they've just been out in the sun way too long, just real leathery. And Skull and Crossbones said 270. He got a 270 as his first centerfire. Yeah, another good caliber too.
Yeah, good shoot.
Well, I prefer the 7 Magnum, but 270 or 7mm08, also another great caliber too. I had one of them at one stage as well for probably one of my first deer hunting rifles, the 7mm08. Very good.
I still
Mr.
love
One.
the 223. I still absolutely love the 223.
Hey, dude, you know what? I got some 223 the other day. Just some brass, right? I can't believe again. I haven't had a 223 for ages. Well, I don't have a 223. I just got some brass anyway.
Why?
So small. Well, someone was giving them away, so I thought I could just, if someone wants them, I can sell them to someone for cheap. For one's fired brass, but this I can't believe how small it was because I'm used to 243 now, which is neck down 308. So I was just shocked how small that little case was, man. It was unbelievable. I liked it.
Yeah. You got to get rid of that 243, the transgender round. You got to get rid of it.
Listen, you're going to screw the algorithm on us, and then you're not going to get that 79 cents.
77 cents, thank you. What is it? I'm 243. Am I a 223 or am I confused? Am I 308?
Yeah, and Pat from California again said he hates getting new calibers because he dyes and brass and molds and always double the price. Yeah, that is true, man. I feel your pain especially when you're reloading new pills or projectiles. Everything can be different. New dyes, another $100 on dyes plus now probably these days. I haven't bought any for a while.
And a good friend Matt Cato paid $115 for 300 WSM the other day.
Wow.
Jeez,
actually, speaking about that,
I take it that's for 20.
Yeah. What is the cost, guys? I've got a 300 Win Mag. I never buy factory ammo, ever. I just work up a load. How much are the big calibers now? 300 Win Mag, as Matt just said, 300 WSM. I'm talking factory rounds here. 338, 308. What are you getting your cost for? Let us know the caliber and the costs on the last box of 20 you bought, preferably recently in the last couple of months, just so we can get an idea. Interesting.
Yeah. I've got to go down, once again, Brown Plains Farms. I've got to go down there and talk to them about what's coming up, what's hard to get up. What are you laughing at?
Just probing said, we'll talk about the leathery ladies, and he goes, "Lol, brown white girls."
Yeah, with on the Gold Coast, bleach blonde hair. What is it? Bleach blonde hair and Botox lips, look like a bloody blowfish.
Yeah, we got High Country texted him. Never too late with my 308. Exactly, another very good caliber. One of the best ones up there, I reckon. Mate, you smack any deer with a 308.
Gender fluid, 243.
God, I mean, there's so much. Exact. Matt Cato is 100% correct. 243 is king. Yes, it is.
I think we'll always have this argument. The amount of comments, Jason, I haven't told you, that we get people bitching about our 243 versus 308 video. Oh, you didn't give us any information. You didn't talk enough on it. And, 243 is the best. 308's better than that. They're just bagging us out.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't, 308 is good. I don't think, you can shoot at long range, no problem, but I don't think it's built for that, like 30-06. You can shoot them that distance, I don't think, but there's sort of other rounds that, I think would get out a bit further, like even your 6.5s, the shape of the bullets and so forth. I mean, they're really good, conducive to high BC results. I mean, your Magnum calibers, your 7 mils, your, again, your 300 Win Mags, 300 WSM, 300 PRC, again, with your higher weight bullets for your higher BCs. Like I said, if you're running and I'd be interested to find out what Matt Cato is running, what weight bullet. But if 300W, I would run 200 plus, 200 to 210, I reckon, is that sweet spot of BC. But again, if you're only shooting smaller game, you can probably get 150. Well, you can get 150s for a Winchester mag or a WSM or even a PRC. So, or 30 cal bullets. So why not?
Well, here's one for you, Jason. And you did the right thing years ago. I remember you phoning me up and telling me you spent thousands of dollars on stuff. And here's why. $110 for a boxer Hornady.
Wow.
168 ELDMs. And you paid something like $50 a box only a few years ago.
Yeah, well, I actually got him for a mate when we were shooting down on the Riverina. I'm sure he got like 7 or 8 boxes for about $300. So, man, that is insane, man. It's out of this world. People aren't going to be able to afford to shoot. Luckily, I've got that heaps of powder. I've got heaps of primers. I don't shoot, obviously, there's a lot of some of you guys on here because I live in Sydney, so I only get out, 10, 12 times a year sort of thing, maybe a bit more. But, once, not even once a month, sometimes I go a couple of months, but yeah, no shit, man. Conservative sniper, $80 a box for $45.70. That's insane. Yeah, wow.
Eddie Fox earlier this year, I bought 5,000 rounds of Ely for $1,700 for 22 ammo.
Wow, what is it? Match ammo? Shit, what is it?
Oh mate, it has to fuck me and buy me dinner for that price. I'm sorry.
Well, there you go. $72 a box from Paul. 6.5 Creedmoor, 143 grain in Albury. Okay, that's probably not bad. That's the 143 ELDX. But surprisingly, I think the ELDX is worth more than the match bullets in per 100 rounds. Okay. I was only checking the shops the other day. Oh, there we go. 308 at local Adelaide gun shop, $45 for 20 rounds. So yeah. It seems like the old 308 still bang for buck, one of the probably cheapest rounds you can get, at least in the heavy deer caliber range.
I think it is, yeah. And he'll flick through some of these. $80 for a box of 45.70. Jeez. $72 for a box of 143. Yeah, Creedmoor, 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah. See, Stan, long-range pensioner Manchester, his son just got a 7mm 08. Well, Stan, I hope he's reloading, mate, because you don't want to get caught out buying 7mm 08 ammo at the shop, mate. That's for sure. Nick Blackwell, 308 reloads for $1.02 a round, and that is the 178 ELDX. Yep, that's not bad, man.
And Rule 303, 308, $45 for 20 rounds. Basically, everything's around $2 upwards.
You know what a good question is while we're commenting about this? Let us know in the comments, guys. Do you reload or factory ammo? I just want to get a consensus of who reloads and who just buys factory ammo. Obviously, 22 ammo, you can't really, it's rimfire. So, Tracer said $230 for 1,000 primers. I was buying those for $77. 77.
How much was this? I missed this one. What is it?
He goes, he paid $230 for 1,000 bench rest primers.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I've seen the guys, have you noticed? Well, I can't. Difference between match grade and normal primers, bench rest primers. Well, I can't tell the difference myself. Everything seems to hit where I aim it at. But the prices are horrendous between them all. They really are.
Unless you're shooting the Ruger Precision.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, right. And then you shooting your 270 the next day, not hitting anything.
It's a 260.
At the 1,000 meters.
260, dickhead.
Okay,
at least if you're going to give me shit, at least get it right. At least get it right.
The unforgettable round.
Here we go. This is an interesting one from Badger. He said, I reload my 308 win. I refuse to pay $38 for 20 rounds. Man, that's cheap, man. Even 38, I think, well, it's not cheap. I think it's expensive. But in today's thing, this is what things cost, right? Man, can you imagine paying $110 for 20 rounds of like ELDM, for that people were just talking about for like 300 Win Mag and so forth? I mean, shit's just gotten insane, man.
Uranus Federal 32 grain, $99 for 825 rounds. Ely in competition grade. Jeez.
Ely Federal 32 gram.
Oh, sorry, there it is.
Yeah, Federal 32 gram is $99 for 825. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, 32 grain. He's saying is not for the Ely. Yeah, competition grade. Yeah, I got it now. Sorry, man. I thought you were writing hieroglyphics to us. I wasn't sure.
There we go. $33 for 20 rounds of 223. Bugger me.
Yeah, Christo Z, Remington 22 250, 55 grain, $55. Wow. So again, it seems like, again, your two calibers that are probably going to be the cheapest are going to be your 223 and your 308 by the looks of it.
Yeah, well, I'll go down. I'll try and get time this week and go down, or give Gary a call at Browns Plain Firearms and talk to him about what's selling, what's not, what's going up in price, and what's to go. And we'll, next time we have a live stream in a couple of weeks, we should have some really good information on pricing and what's happening in the gun industry.
Yeah. So just going quickly, I'm going to rattle over these ones very quickly. So Looking Over Hell says reload, Christo reload, Ecstatic Pessimist reload, Mitchie uses factory, Tracer reload, Ray is factory, Cliff reload, Andrew factory, Phil Walt. Yeah, you can read that one.
Yeah, 22. Eli, $100 a brick.
So what's that? That's a brick. What's a brick? Is that
A brick's
500
rounds?
1,000, isn't it?
500. Yes, sorry.
Is it 500? Yeah, I
500.
thought it was.
Yeah. But hey guys, I haven't bought it for a while.
That just goes to show I haven't bought anything for ages, man. I even forget what the denominations are.
It's been over a year since I bought anything because my ammo cabinet's fully stocked. But I bought a ton of CCI standards, which we all know that is they work through everything. So who has bought CCI standards recently, and how much?
Yeah.
Because that's like the benchmark of accuracy. Because
I used to shoot a lot of the CCI standards just on rabbits and that, the CCI standards.
They're fantastic up to 100 meters. No matter what gun you have, they just seem to work up to 100 meters.
I think it's the speed, man. Like I always said before, I've always noticed if the 22 is a bit too quick, just don't think a lot of barrels can handle it. Sure, you can find it, but I always found subsonics and just like 1,000 feet a second ammo, maybe 1,050, always seems to be just about the sweet spot for the 22. I think you get to that 1,350 or the 12, higher than 1,250, 1,300, like some of those Stingers, 1,600. They're just all over the shop. They're just not consistent, I don't think. But, I mean, they might be in some guns, just not my ones. I've never had one, and I buy decent 22s, CZ. They just don't work, man, eh?
Yeah. Andrew, $1,200 for 5,000 SKS match.
SK rifle match, yeah.
SK rifle match, yeah. Jeez, okay, let's see who has brought CCI.
Matt.
Wonderful. Want to buy a lever action chambered in 357 and 44 mag just for fun. What is a better choice? That's sort of like putting me on the spot here.
I like 44 mag, but probably 357's cheaper.
Yeah, I'd go 44 mag. Honestly, I would. I had a 44 mag Rossi. It was awesome. Then they discontinued it, and I sold it for a small fortune. And a year later, they started making it again. So I was lucky. Sort of like house prices, that was. 44 mag all the way.
Matt Cato said 1,000 Magnum Private's 165.
Yeah, jeez.
Bob Newhart said 243 consistently over $1 per round in the US. It's been hard to get online, and it's around $1.80 per round. As Bob's saying, he loves the 243. Great caliber. 87 grain VMAX.
Endo, CCI for accuracy. Ha, ha, ha. My 22 spits them out like the shotgun pellets. They go everywhere. Well, buy a good gun or clean your barrel.
Yeah, listen, I think to some degree he is right. I think you do get the odd flyer. I do agree with that. But I've had good results with them like Aaron has. So I'm not going to speak ill of them because I think they're pretty good price for what they are. But like any rimfire, you tend to get a flyers here and there. So, but I don't disagree entirely with what he's saying. I think it's got some merit.
Tankmaster, I wish the Browning now driver 20 was still around.
Yeah.
I should have Browning about 3006.
Rule 303 said, apologies, guys. He gave us a bum steer. $55 for 20 rounds of 308. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought 38 before. Was it 38.40? I remember when I was buying them for $25. That was the good old days. That was the old Outback, wasn't it? Outback ammo, I think 168 grain soft point.
Here we go. My mate got CCI brick for $170 2 months ago. I was paying $55 here in Queensland 2 years ago for a brick.
No, he's talking CCI bench rest primers, isn't he?
Oh, bench rest.
Yeah, CCI bench rest primers, $170. Is that for $1,000? Is that what he's talking about? CCI bench rest BR primers.
Let us know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, what's CCI BR? That's not a bullet. That's bench rest primers.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
From memory, I brought CCI standard earlier this month for $55. That's more like it.
I think I sold some to a mate. I'll tell you what generally works for me. I like the Federal Hunter match. You put me onto them, I think, there for a while. They worked really well in the CZ when I had it.
They are good. Copper coated.
And the Ely, surprisingly, Ely high velocity, surprisingly, in the CZ as well. And the T1X likes the Federal Hunter match, so they're pretty good, yeah.
Yep. Rainis again. Stingers, hard-hitting brick price is reasonable, but good point, Jason. They fly as fast, sometimes seem inconsistent. Yes. So I like CCI, but same thing. I've tried the Stingers, and they have very, I just think 22 subsonic is the only way to go.
Let's just rip a few of these quick ones out before we finish up. $72 CCI standard at Sunbury Firearms. CCI long range LR 170. CCI standard $75 per 500. CCI standards $550 per 5,000.
Read that one, Jason.
Not bad. Winchester black box 300 black at $7. What?
I'm still getting hate mail from my review on 300 blackout. Every week I get 5 or 6 messages of hate mail saying I can't shoot for shit, I'm useless, I'm a dickhead for not liking the 300 blackout. That is the worst round ever invented, I reckon.
Hey, listen.
Compared to the next best thing to 300 blackout is a rock.
350 legend.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's good if you do a lot of subsonic, 300 blackout for, just that, hot, heavier pill subsonic round in those situations specifically that you need it.
But if you're game hunting at 5 meters, it's probably accurate.
Yeah, but if you got houses nearby, you need to try and keep it somewhat quiet. There is a purpose for it, but I probably wouldn't.
That doesn't apply here in Australia, though. Even 100 meters, the thing was just flowing everywhere. Several brands as well.
Yeah, Paul J says Federal Hunter match as well. 500 Dirty Fox at 560 of 5,000 CCI. Stingers hit hard, said Probing, but I've got a good point. They do fly, sometimes inconsistent. I think so too. Anyway,
Steve, Outback Ammo. Outback Ammo is good. It's made by ADI. It is Australian made, and I actually quite like it. Never had any real problems with it.
Yeah, the wax coated Ely says Salty Skippy. The Rudy loves the 22 wax coated. Yep. Yeah. Listen, 22. I think the 22. I'm not saying it's coming back in because it never went out, but I just think people are going to be, again, good, cheap, fun shooting, bunny busting, little long range targets at distance. Man, it's cheap. It's not as cheap as it used to be, is it? But again, like I say, guys, if you've got the money, even now, if you've got the money, the DXY, the US dollar is just skyrocketing, man. So things are going to get expensive to buy. Eventually, when stock's gone in Australia, things are going to get real expensive. This is the worst time in history. I was buying stuff from the US and stuff, a lot of different items, and just not worth it anymore at the moment because the US dollar is just going crazy.
And what you have me said for years on this live stream, they are not going to restock Australia before they restock America.
Yeah.
So we're at the bottom of the barrel.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, what did my grandfather shared? No, nothing there.
Well, it's been a fantastic night, Jace. We might knock it on the head and call it a night.
Yeah, no, it's been good, guys. Talk about all things 22. A lot of gun talk there. Some, what's happening with the Republic. That was interesting talk. I did post it on my page today just to get a general consensus, and it looks like people are on a similar page to me. That I don't think we're going to get any rights from the government, so they wouldn't be voting for a Republic. And
never in a million years.
In theory, yes, I would support it with very, very good, with a clear consensus before we voted on it that must be implemented if it was voted on, which you can't trust these politicians. So I think just because I've been trodden on so many times, my pessimism would be, even if there was a document to say we're going to put this in, I don't think I've been trodden on that much. I'm a bit what's
It'll
the
never
word,
work.
you know?
I think most people in this stream know we can't become a republic because it'll just be a communist regime written by the police and the politicians and stuff what everyone else says. That's it. And if they can't show me a constitution that favours the people in all fields, not shooting, but all fields, no, I'd never ever be happy with that. Yeah.
Anyway,
we
yeah,
are the
good
people.
chat. Good to connect with people again after about 6 weeks. We had a good number of people still tuned in, so good to see people are still interested and so forth. Yeah, and it was good. Yeah,
definitely. Well, thank you guys for coming on tonight. I really do appreciate it. Now, please give us a comment in the comment section afterwards. It helps with this YouTube algorithm. Go look at Jason's other channel, Lush Cut Lawns. Please go look at my my channel, Building Stuff Australia. Please go subscribe to that as well. And we will see you in the very, very near future. In a couple of weeks, we'll be back on and we'll have some new information on the state of the gun industry in Australia. So take care, guys. Thank you for joining us. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Take care, and we shall see you in a couple of weeks' time. Good night.